Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Wednesday Live. This is number 19, and we're back again for another live show. How about that? Well, let's see. Don't have any viewers yet, but so here's what's up. I've just been hanging out, getting ready for the show here, um, getting things set up, and I wanted to go through some trending topics that have been going on this week over the internet and uh, top news stories of the week or the day, whatever I could dig up. So let's take a look at this. Let me share my screen with you and we will get started. All right. You can see this is BuzzFeed, and right off the top, number one, here are the biggest announcements for Apple's iPhone events. It seems like Apple's kind of at the top of all the trending events today with the iPhone 7. Me personally, I've never really even considered getting an iPhone, iPad, iBook, and none of that. I've always been a Android guy, Windows. I have tried Ubuntu for computer operating system, but I've never considered Apple products. I've used some off and on. Some people have come and had problems with their iBook and asked for help, and so I've kind of dug around in them. To me, it's just kind of hard to understand because they don't put things in where with Windows, you hit the start button and you've got things right there on the panel. That's the problem that Microsoft had with Windows 8 when they made the tiles. They hid everything under these tiles and they made people dig for them, and that's what they didn't like because they got rid of the start button and they made people have to dig deep into that operating system to find what they were looking for, and people didn't like that. And that's one of the things that I don't like about Apple, because you want to do something, but you got to dig under a whole bunch of other stuff, hunt around and look before you can find what you're looking for. And if I had an Apple product all the time and that's what I used, I'd get used to that. I know I would. It's just the way things are, but I can get an Android phone and everything's right there, right for me. I just have to click on one icon and I can get to where I want to be. But anyway, that's what's happening with iPhone. They're having a big rollout of the iPhone 7. So if you're an iPhone, an Apple person, be sure and check that out. And then here, a college student created a powerful photo series inspired by Brock Turner's release. And then 11 random amazing food videos we can't stop playing on repeat. I recently found a where this person uh, shows this amazing food. I mean, she goes out and she videotapes her day on the doing her errands, and she's come across some amazing stuff. And I told her she's going to make me fat if she kept that up. Let's see here. The author of Eat, Pray, Love just announced she's in love with her longtime best friend. Well, that's good. It's nice to find somebody that you can actually love. So I wish her the best. We know your age based on your hipster choices. Okay, yeah. Well, that's true. People tend to get the products that are most age appropriate to them, and so it's like the older people. They have a hard time letting go of the older stuff and trying new things, and then the younger people, they don't want to try the older stuff. They're always looking for something new. It's like me, I'm always looking for something new in computers or cell phones or things like that. But I do like looking at the old stuff as well because I'm kind of in between that age where I'm not too old, but not very young anymore. So that's um, that's my kind of take on that. And then 22 fringy outfits that teen actors wore in the thousands, 2000s. So, yeah, there's been a lot of crazy things, but really not as crazy as if you'd watched the Walmartians video montage. Those people wear some crazy things, let me tell you. 19 motherfucking funny moms who are barely keeping it together. Go crazy in the supermarket. You never know what's going to happen. And this I didn't hear anything about. I just ran across this here on BuzzFeed. This viral pregnancy hoax has everyone on the edge of their seats. I don't know anything about that. Let's look at that and see what that is. That's kind of interesting. Let's see if I can bring this up. What's happening here? Uh, my internet connection is kind of slow, so it takes a little time to load all of these, but we'll make the best of it. So. Baby mama drama of the century. It all started with an ultrasound. That's how it usually starts. Shantasia Phillips, 18, tweeted an ultrasound to Kyle Harris, 25, who's behind the popular Twitter account Elito Jokes, whatever that is. She claims that he had blocked her number and that she was pregnant with his baby. I can see where that's going. I won't read the whole thing here, but I will put a link in the description so that you can come back to it. Let's give that. So, let's close that. And I'll put up a note here to put that in the description. There we go. All right. Now, what else? The hardest game of Would You Rather for people who love cards. I hate to diet. Yeah. And then here's how to use your old headphones with the new iPhone 7. Yeah, you have to get an adapter, probably. I've heard that that way with the old 3.5 jack, so you won't be able to plug the standard headphones into the electronics anymore. I think they're probably going to go with the new USB connection. I would hope so. Um, I'm using a USB headset with my computer. It's the still the old version of the USB, but That's what I use. I don't, but then I have a headset that has the old jack that you plug in. So, but it was kind of odd. This computer I have, it's got the old style headphone jack, but it didn't have a jack for a microphone. It had the built-in microphone on the laptop, but um, the only other way I could get a microphone in there is through USB, which wasn't really because my camera has a microphone and my headset here has a microphone, so um, that wasn't really a big issue. And the next thing here, which strange things characters are you actually? I've seen strange things, so I can't really comment on that. But we'll scroll down here and see what's next. John Krasinski, latest comments about Emily Blunt will destroy you. Don't really care, actually. Um, this whole drama thing, Kardashians, Chrisleys, I don't care. I don't watch it. I don't read the news stories. I don't care because it's not for me. But if you like that sort of thing, there's that there. And make an amazing chicken Marcella pasta dinner using only one pot. Now that might be interesting. I've made dinners using only one pot before, but it can be kind of a problematic situation to do that. What are your porn preferences like compared to other people's? Well, uh, I plead the fifth. Okay, let's see. And then people can't get over the dictionaries. Yes, the dictionaries. What about that? What's up with these weird looking transparent boots? Or see, it just doesn't interest me. I don't care. They can care, wear whatever they want. I don't care. Parks and Recreation fans will understand. Parks and Recreation fans. I haven't seen that show. Never watched it. Okay, another clown was spotted in the woods, and police say this needs to stop. Well, I don't know what that's all about. This is the first I've heard of it. Let's take a look. I think I might know what it's about because that new Blair Witch Project movie coming out or came out, but I don't know. So the latest clown to be spotted was chased back into the forest by a North Carolina man with a machete, police said on Tuesday. Got a phone call here. Let's see what that is. Not provided, so I'm not going to answer that. All right. Down here, I said. So, yet another clown spotted on the edge of a forest has police officials calling on people to stop it. On Tuesday, a clown was reportedly seen at the edge of the woods in Greensboro, North Carolina, following recent reports of a clown allegedly trying to lure kids in a Winston-Salem and South Carolina's. Okay, so they got somebody out there that's trying to get kids in the woods. Yeah, I guess they need to find out who that is and see what the heck's going on. Oh, that's not a good thing, people. Yeah, you, one of these days you might get come out there and try something, and somebody's gonna shoot you. So, if you're this clown, clowning around in the woods, I would say you better go home and stay there. But anyway, I will put a link in the description for this as well, and you can take a look at that later. So there you go. Let's see what's next. Brittany and Ellen went to a mall and hilariously acted like entitled celebrities. Well, is that anything new? Sleeping in the beds. Okay. They're getting a little weird here. Yeah, look at those potatoes. I want some of those. Those look kind of good. Didn't know what they were at first, but I do. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat. We do have some people in the chat. Hey, Systopia, how you doing? Cytopia, sorry about that. Come in. Trump wants to expand the U.S. Army. Well, I'm not surprised. He was saying he wanted to blow everything up and build a wall around Mexico. Yep, that's what he's trying to. He wants Mexico to build a wall. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. Mexico's not going to build a wall. Uh, now, he might try and get the U.S. government to build a wall, uh, presuming that he gets to be president. But we won't know that till after November. So we'll see. But Trump said some crazy things. I'm really not sure about Trump. Mexico's not going to pay to build a wall. That ain't going to happen. There are parts of Mexico that are pretty poor, and then there are parts of Mexico that are tourist attractions, which are have money. Well, I won't actually say the man's crazy, but he's weird. Um, I guess you could say he's crazy because some of the stuff he says is really sounds crazy. I don't particularly care the way he treats people either. He only cares about you if you can do something for him. After that, he's kind of don't know you exist. So I don't know. We will see about that. Yeah, it's out there, all right. Way out there. All right, let's. I'm going to move on here, and we will take a look at this. Now, this is the What's Trending website, and right up at the top, that is YouTube over. And what this has to do with is the demonetization of YouTube videos by YouTube now. Today I made a daily vlog all about this subject. And my point of view of it is YouTube isn't solely to blame for this. It's the advertisers. The advertisers probably went to YouTube and said, if you don't stop putting our ads on these types of videos, that we're not going to advertise with you anymore. And YouTube is owned by Google, and Google makes money through ads. That's why we don't have to pay for like using YouTube or Google Hangouts or Google Maps, because these are all supported by ads. So if the advertisers, then that would be the end of YouTube, because if YouTube isn't a paying proposition, then they'll just get rid of it, because Google's had other projects that have been out there that weren't very popular and weren't making money through the ads, so they just discontinued them. So that's what could happen with YouTube. Now, YouTube made this algorithm where it looks for keywords in the descriptions that you write, the titles, and the tags and maybe even the audio portion of your video to find certain keywords. And if this algorithm finds certain keywords, then it'll demonetize your video. But to their credit, YouTube has created other ways to for your videos. They put up a fan funding, uh, and they've also, if you do when you do annotations on your videos, they've got a where you can put merchandising annotation on there or a crowdfunding annotation. So they're trying to make it easier for people, but they're, like I said in my video yesterday, they're kind of between a rock and a hard place. They're trying to please the advertisers and the creators. And then I've heard creators say that, well, if YouTube's going to do this, then they'll just go somewhere else. But really, the fact is, where are you going to go? Anywhere you go, platform, more than likely, they make their money through advertising as well. So there's going to be the same problem. What I wish is that we could get a list of the advertisers that are objecting to the content of our videos, and then we can be sure and avoid these products that these advertisers had, because I'm sure if they don't like our videos, that they probably uh, don't want to be associated with our type of people anyway. So, that's something else. But then, and YouTube, they have an algorithm already where they scan the title and they kind of try to associate an advertisement that they put on the video with what your title is about. Well, why couldn't they do the same thing with the objectionable content? There are some people that have put up videos about rape prevention or suicide prevention or help on with drug and alcohol um, dependency. And these are all worthwhile things that some advertisers like alcohol treatment centers, drug treatment centers, uh, would advertise on that. So why can't they make an algorithm to match those types of ads with that particular type of content that the creator's making? Now I know a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot. Some of the creators out there use a lot of profanity in their videos, and that might be one of the reasons. Now, for that, you really can't. I guess there's um, advertisement for profanity. I don't know, but that's something I try and keep away from in my videos, because I try to keep my videos where everybody can watch. So I'm not gonna limit it to the older generation. I want my videos to help everybody. So a lot of profanity on my videos or my channel, but you know that's something. So you really you've got choices. You can either put up the video you want and uh, it may not be monetized, or you can make the father knows best and leave it to beaver type videos that don't offend anybody, and then you can get monetized with that, although it might not be very interesting to your viewing audience, but you can do that. Or you can just leave YouTube altogether and go somewhere else. So YouTube is not censoring your content. If anybody is trying to censor your content, it's the advertisers by making these stipulations, because YouTube's and Google's just not going to say that they're not going to honor the advertisers' wishes and just put their ads on any video that they want to. That won't happen, because YouTube and Google are dependent on the advertisers more than they are the actual users, really. Although the users do click on the ads, they do see the ads. They do bring in the revenue, and that's one thing. If content creators start leaving YouTube, that's going to be less videos, and then their followers are going to leave with them. So there's not going to be that less people watching the YouTube videos and seeing the ads anyway. So it's kind of a vicious circle, really. You're darned if you do, and you're darned if you don't. But that's it. If you want to learn more about this, watch my vlog, my daily vlog number 129 from yesterday. It's about 18 minutes long, and I go through the whole thing. But take a look at that. And then bad lip reading covers the Democratic National Convention. This is kind of weird. See, they put up this picture of Hillary with her mouth wide open. I don't know what that's all about. I think they just want to try and find anything to discredit either candidate. It really, you look at the presidential now, and they're just all about talking bad about each other. About any of the issues, which Trump really never did talk about issues except for putting a wall around Mexico and deporting everybody. Now they've just quit that altogether, and they want to talk about how bad each other is. So I quit looking at that too. I don't care about the Kardashians. I don't care about the Chrisleys. Forget it. Now I'm starting to rant here. Okay. Eric Audrey and us run each other's Tinder accounts. Don't know anything about that. Let's see. Who tries to entertain students ends up making everyone cringe. Let's take a look at that. See what that's about. I don't know what's happening with that. Look and see, and while that's loading, let's take a look at the again. OSC, thanks for coming. Liking the show. We're just having a little conversation here about crazy things that everybody's doing. And let's, okay, that's loaded up. Here. Oh, my poor sweet summer child. Okay. Usually when we hear at what's tending cover stuff that makes us cringe, it's people who, whoops, that just disappeared. There's going to be a video over the top of that. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this video, but looks like it's going to play. Okay. It's people who are genuinely deserve to be mocked, like that mime-heavy anti-smoking ad or Walmart manager who forced his employees to chant for him. This is that rare form of cringe where you feel just as bad for the cringy as you feel. A student recorded his teacher singing an excruciatingly 8-minute melody of popular, with the lyrics changed to be about math class and homework. Here's the original video. I don't know, it looks like they took it down. I will put a link in the description for that, and everybody can take a look at that. Maybe you can find the video, but they have deleted it. But we shall see later. I'll go back and watch that later as well. So, move on. Okay. Ann Collier got what she deserved at the roast of Rob Lowe. Book in Trump We Trust. That's not going to happen. All right, so that's what's trending. I could do some more there, but let's take a look at what's on Google here. Uh, the Summer Paralympics started today, I do believe. In that they can catch that. And here are the stories trending now. Again, Apple. This is the OS 10 iPhone come out, and then Apple United States Office of Personal Management OS 10 computer security. And then PlayStation 4 trending. Starbucks, Howard Schultz, Hillary Rodham Clinton. What's that about? Let's take a look. I don't know. Let's see. Does Hillary go to Starbucks? I don't know. What? We gotta click it again. Okay. It's just a collection of different things. Howard Schultz, Starbucks CEO. Let's take a look at that. I'm thinking Howard Schultz might be the CEO. Don't actually know, but we will see. And as I open up more tabs, my computer's slow to load, but okay. Okay, these are just different graphs of where everything is trending. I thought we'd find a news story here, but evidently not. So let's move on. Maybe if I click on the image here, we'll get what I was looking for. There we go. I think that's gonna give me the Denver Post. Starbucks to tackle social issues with original digital series. Okay, well, that's something new. Starbucks is getting into video. Upstanders will push feel-good content through coffee company's mobile app. We will mark this. Come back to that. Copy. All right. And next. Apple iWork, Apple Pay, phone. The U.S. Open, Microsoft, Apple, Google, more Apple stuff. Yes, Apple trends a lot, really. Fashion Week, sports here, Detroit Tigers, Chicago White Sox, New York Mets, Tiger Woods, T-Mobile, Verizon Wireless. What's going on with them? Let's take a look at that. And we're loading. Take a look at that. Yeah, nobody new here. Put it in, so let's take a look at it. Where to buy the LG V20 in the US? Okay. I have an LG phone actually, the LG Vista, almost 2 years now, and I really like it. The only thing I about it was it didn't have enough internal memory, and it said it was expandable with a, but you you can't put well, you can put some of the apps on on the memory card partially. Still, the internal memory is very small, and it gets used up pretty quickly by the bloatware that they put on there. Mine came from AT&T. I got it from AT&T because I got it for a discount if I signed up for a 2-year contract phone. But now that they've done away with contracts, you either got to pay for the phone on a monthly payment or buy it outright. So sticking with my LG Vista for a while until I decide to upgrade. I think when I do upgrade, it's going to be to one of the Samsung Galaxy phones. Looking at those, and I like the way they look, and I have a Samsung Galaxy tablet, an old one, and I liked it. It's a little slow, but I still like the way it looked and the way it worked. So I'm thinking I'm going with the Galaxy phone, the next phone I get. But anyway, that is this is just an article for the LG V20 coming to carriers in the U.S. So I'll go ahead and put a link to that if you want to look at it. See when that's going to come out. All right, moving on. Grand Theft Auto 5, Rockstar Games, video games. Grand Theft Auto. I used to play Grand Theft Auto. Kind of a crazy game if you want to just smash into people, kill them, shoot them, stomp on them, beat them up. But hey, you know, I got better things to do. You can get caught up in the games, and then that's all you want to do. I remember when Facebook first came out and they had the Farmville game. Everybody was playing Farmville. You'd set your alarm in the middle of the night so when your crops were done, you could go harvest them. Yeah, well, quick. But anyway. Oh, let's see. Yosemite National Park wedding. Hey, you know, um, I when I was little, we'd go to the Ozarks, and in the Ozarks, there's a place. I don't know if it's still open to the public, but it was called Bridal Cave. Tours in there, and people actually had weddings in there, and I thought that was pretty cool. And the walls of this cave, you could tap on them, and they'd make sounds, so you could actually play like music from the walls or the outcroppings of the walls, and that was pretty cool. Um, so that's something to consider. If you're going to have a wedding, you can have it in a park. If if it's good weather, or in a historical place. It's all what you want. I wasn't really into a big wedding. My wedding wasn't big. It was just family. Well, wasn't that. So let's see. Then we got Channing Tatum, Solomon Biles, Ellen DeGeneres, Magic Mike. Whole thing is there. And we could just go on and on here through the different trending topics. I could just scroll down here all down different things. More iBook, Apple Publishing, Sony Mobile Games, uh, and Ellen DeGeneres 2020 Summer Olympics, Olympic Games. I'm not even sure when the 2020 Olympic Games are going to be held, where they're going to be held. But I did see some of the Olympics this year, and it was a pretty good win for the U.S. Michael Phelps, he's retiring after this year. He got made his goal of what he wanted, and now he's going to retire on top. So, best wishes to him. Barack Obama, federal judiciary of the United States. Let's take a look at that. See what that's about. And so we've got this back up. Muslim American groups are applauding President Barack Obama's nomination of a Washington lawyer to serve in U.S. District Court. But he'll come back. There it is. A move that could make him the first ever Muslim American federal judge, according to advocates. And what does it matter if you're Muslim, Christian, Orthodox, Pentecostal? If you're qualified to do the job and you're able to do the job, you should get to do the job, really. Why does religion have to play in it? I mean, people are so caught up in. To me, I I am non-denominational. As long as the religion the people want to practice doesn't hurt themselves, you know, able to worship the way they want to, really. So, you know, they're not hurting you, so don't be judging them about what they believe, So it's not what you believe. You don't deal with that, don't deal with it. But, you know, you can't say that. And I know everybody thinks that their religion is the only religion way in, but hey, yeah, there was always two things that were said that you should stay away from: politics and religion. So I'm just going to stop right there. But I'll link the article here, and you can look at it if you want to. And we will go on. Let's move on to Google News. What's happening in Google? Live coverage of Apple's "See You on the 7th" iPhone 7 event. Apple and iPhone are up at the top of the national news top stories. Okay. And then next, Russian jet flies within 10 feet of U.S. Navy spy plane, defense officials say. Okay. So, if we got a spy plane flying around Russia, Russia's going to want to take a look. You know, I don't see why people just can't get along. And looky there, Trump calls for military spending increase. How about that? Well, Cytopia told us about that. So he wants us to spend more money. What we know about the Trump Foundation's donation to Florida AG. Haven't heard anything about that. That's news to me. Let's see what that's about. And again, we're loading. That's about all we do here is load pages and talk about. But let's see. Go back to the nothing new in the chat. Let's see. No viewers at the present time, but that's okay. We make do. Yeah. Okay, let's scroll down. There's a little video here, which I'm not going to play. All right. Donald Trump has accused Hillary Clinton of using her position in the State Department to provide favors to the Clinton Foundation. I lost it. Scroll back down here. Yada, 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 yada. I think this video might try to play whether I click on it or not. What the holdup is. But anyway. Okay. But one of his charitable organization's past donations has also raised questions. The question centers on a $25,000 check that Donald J. Trump to Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi fundraising committee in 2013. Critics say the money looked like a way to persuade Bondi's office not to join a lawsuit against the now defunct Trump University, which Trump and, well, you know, that's something that'll probably be more and more in the news as time goes on. So we'll make a copy of that. Put it in the links. And move on. Up. New iPhone, Apple Watch unveiled. Okay, Apple by the numbers. 140 billion apps downloaded. 500,000 games in App Store. Yeah, I can remember a time when Apple was only 10% of the market. Now they're like 52, 53% of the market. So they've overtaken the Android PC market. Um, but like I said, I'm still an Android guy, PC guy. Like then here in the news suggestions for me. So because this is my Google News page, Black Lives Matter shifts focus to Capitol Hill. Um, you know, I saw the videos of where the Black Lives Matters protesters blocked the highways, to stop traffic. And I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of stupid because what they're doing by doing that is alienating everybody, not just white people, not just black people, all different ethnicities, by blocking traffic and holding traffic in the middle of a busy highway at rush hour, okay? And, that's not doing anything but inciting people. That's not bringing your point to anybody. That's just making people angry with you, people more angry with you. Their time would have been better spent to maybe go protest in front of police stations. But then I saw a video of a woman. She was talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, and she was saying how it only seems that Black Lives Matters when it's a high-profile case like a police shooting a black person, uh, something of that nature, where it gets in the news. But what about where black people are killed in drive-by shootings? You hardly ever hear about that. You don't see the Black Lives Matter movement saying anything about that, or when a drive-by shooting kills a little child. You don't see their names uh, being put on signs and marching down the street. No, it's only when a police officer ends up shooting a black person that you see this kind of uproar and outrage and blocking of the highways and signs. But then they don't confront the actual people that they're protesting about, which would be the police, you know. And so it seems like the Black Lives Matter movement is just becoming more of another gang. Really, they're not really doing anything positive. They're disruptive than positive. But that's my take on it. So that's what the way I feel about it. So Star Trek film theory: 50 years, 13 films, odds good, evens bad, quarter pucky, whatever that is. Let's take a look. Sounds weird. Let's see. Let's give it a look see here. Yes, this is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. Star Trek debuted in 1966 and been going strong ever since. How Kirk and company bested Star Wars. Well, I've said this before. Star Trek and Star Wars compare to each other. People try and do that, which is the best movie, which is the best franchise. But to me, you're talking apples and oranges there. Star Trek at 50. So how many Star Trek fans does it take to change a light bulb? As long as they are two, four, six, or eight of them, it doesn't matter. And forget about decent illuminations if there are one, three, five, seven, or nine of them. Okay, 13 episodes, and 50 years ago on Thursday, after the original series that spawned them aired on US TV, and during the old even number good, odd number bad claim about all those Star Trek films. You know, I like all Star Trek films. Some were better than others, yes, but the Star Trek motion picture film that came out in '79, I went and saw that 9 times in the theater. I've seen it numerous times on my VCR and DVD and even online. So, you know what? When I found out that they were going to do the Star Trek film in '79, the day that it was set to premiere, I got to the theater early just so I made sure I got a ticket. And I didn't have any problem getting a ticket. I got in. But, that to me, if you are a really, really big Star Trek fan, it don't matter, okay? About anything Star Trek, as long as it makes sense, you know, it, people want to see that. Now, I've seen the new movies come out, the reboot, and they're entertainment. Okay, I don't think they have as much of a message as the original series and the Next Generation shows did, but they they keep the franchise going. Um, this whole thing about which movie is the best. Now, I will tell you which movie I probably enjoyed the most out of the whole series was Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home. That was a mix of drama, comedy, and all that, And my wife keeps saying that I don't like comedy because I don't like mindless comedy. When there's comedy that has a story that has an actual point to it, yes, I will watch that. Even the original Star Trek series, they did have moments of comedy in them as well as the drama. So, and that's one of the things that made it a big fan favorite because, not totally dramatic 24 hours a day and everything's not just a big joke 24 hours a day. It's a mix. And when you know how to put the two together, comedy and drama together to make a good, believable story, that's what will make a film or a series. You know, that's um, that's just my take on it. I like all the Star Trek shows. I've seen all the Star Trek shows, and I've seen a lot of the fan films. And man, I am sorry that Paramount and CBS have blocked the making of fan films because there were some great ones out there. And really, that's just really disappointing that they blocked the fans from creating fan films in the Star Trek medium. But anyway, that's it. All right, everybody. It is. It is now 5 o'clock. It's been a lot of fun doing this, and hope everybody enjoyed my little show here and found some useful information. And if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel and tell your friends and family about my channel and my videos, and share my videos with your friends and family. And till next week, everybody, take care. Bye bye.